October 28th council meeting. It is 7:30 p.m. Will Mr. Hoover please call the roll?
Ms. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Finley.
Here.
Mr. Garbus.
Here.
Ms. Tully.
Here.
Mr. Ventura.
Here. If we could all stand now for the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next up is the approval of the minutes for Thursday, October 14th, 2021.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for that date for October 14, 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, next is public comments. We have one person signed in today, Mr. Merrick. If you can come up to the microphone, give us your name and your address. And we do have a 5-minute time limit.
Thank you. Do I need this really?
So people can hear you.
Lawrence Merrick, 467 Mapleview Road. I've been a resident there for 43 years. I'm a retired public servant. For the past 40 years, I've been trying to and look for help to remedy water issues coming into my yard. My yard is not the issue, like some people thought that maybe I need to work on swales and stuff in my yard. Over the years, I've had the transom and the guys come in, scope it out. I had it cut with bulldozers. I spent the money to recut swale so water would flow out of the yard. That remedies the water flowing out of the yard. The issue is the water coming into my yard. My yard should not be the toilet for all the stuff that comes off of North Bedford Road, east and west. There's a pipe that goes under the road from the west side of the road, from probably drains all those fields from the highway all the way down, and on the east, all the way down through that pipe, and then it meanders between the houses, through the woods, and empties into my backyard, which is probably the lowest section of the yards on Mapleview Road. My neighbors have issues. The gentleman on the corner next door to me has issues because every time it rains, the backyards fill up. It's like a river between our houses. The sewers or the drains in front of the house do not handle the water. I've asked for help from several mayors, several service directors, a handful of council people over the past 40 years. And I had some help way back, probably 20 years ago, and nothing since then. I've made mention of some issues, water not draining, pipes too small, pipes not deep enough, and so on, and nothing is happening. Nothing's happening. Anybody can see, and I've been walking around and viewing this for, like I said, 40 years, and I couldn't get anybody to come out and take a look. I talked to a few of the council people 2 weeks ago, and in response to that, the city engineer sent me some paperwork, phoned me, left a message on my phone, and I looked at the paperwork. I guess there was a surveyor or somebody from the county, I'm not sure, that was walking around my yard and looked at my yard, and everything I guess was okay. But again, that's not the issue. The issue is all this stuff coming into my yard. Why should my yard be the reservoir for all this water coming into it, draining North Bedford Road? Okay, I've got pictures, I got a little bit of video, I've got my neighbors and everybody backing this, wanting to get something done. A number of years ago, they put a second pipe at the intersection of Mapleview and Indian Run. And I wasn't there when they installed it, but I was there as they were finishing it up, and I sit there and I look at it, and the pipe is higher than the original pipe. Okay, so I go to the guy and I say, why is that pipe higher than the original pipe? He goes, well, when this one fills up and the overflow, this pipe will take the overflow. Yeah, that's great. And as it fills up and it's getting ready to overflow, it's backing up in all of our yards on Mapleview Road. those pipes are not deep enough. You can ask anybody in that neighborhood, those pipes are not deep enough to let all that water out that's coming off of North Bedford Road, through the woods, into my backyard, in between the houses, and filling up that corner. All our backyards are wet. They fill up. The guy on the corner, I feel sorry for him because every time we get a heavy rain or something like that, water travels up his driveway into his garage. Nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. I've had the transom in my yard. It was cut the way it should be. Okay? Over the years, the swales have filled up again because of all that stuff coming out into my yard. So I'm going to have them cut again. That's not going to remedy the water problem in my yard. Not going to remedy the water problem. I try to talk to people. I'm getting fed up with it. 40 years, I think, is long enough to deal with this. You've done other projects in the area. I don't know why those projects got priority. Water retention basin, you got a freebie from the church. I got to talk to them about that. That's the church I attend. I give them my money, and they're giving land away. Okay, so I got probably some issue with that. Okay, but you took care of all those people downstream. Probably newer homes, newer neighborhoods, I'm not sure, okay? But on the north end, nothing happens. Nothing happens. I call people. Mr. Gigliotti sent me paperwork, phoned me. I tried to call him back 3 times with no response, sir. With no response.
That's not true, sir. We spoke last week on the phone.
Yes, we did. I finally called your office, and then you returned my phone call, and I appreciate the return of the phone call. I tried to get him out to look at the situation, say, you know, this is the issue here, this is here, here's where the water comes from. He couldn't do that. He wanted to follow protocol. I said, I've been trying to do protocol for 40 years. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Mr. Merrick, let me offer this because the 5 minutes is up, but can I talk to you more about this perhaps tomorrow or next week? And then I could also speak with our engineer and we could have another conversation about it.
That's fine. I tried to talk to the service department after I bumped into Mr. Ventura in the hallway. Was that about a week ago?
Last Friday, sir.
And I have yet to get a phone call.
You're probably not, because that's not something that they would be dealing with. That would flow through our city engineer for that problem. The service department, that's kind of not, I hate to say it's not their wheelhouse. That'd be more of our engineer.
I was told to call the service department and notify and show them pictures.
The basic issues they would be dealing with, and maybe that's why you were told that, but our city engineer would be the one that would be the appropriate person to speak to. So I will reach out to you. I will have another conversation. And
I'm looking for help and resolution.
And I want to help you.
It's a mess.
I want to help you. We have to look at the situation and determine what needs to be done, and if it's something that we can do. The biggest thing that we run into with these types of problems is you can't put public dollars on private property. And if it's something that is not a responsibility of the regional system, like with any RSD, because that's what they handle, and they help determine the severity of those problems that you're referring to, like the Our Lady of Guadalupe retention basin, they help determine what the priorities are. I understand it's been going on for 40 years, but perhaps I'll spend a little time on it. I can't guarantee that we're going to be able to resolve that, but it doesn't mean we're not going to try.
I understand. Roads are, I know I'm over the 5. The roads were put in the 40s. Macedonia became a city in the 50s. That stuff was put in. Water's got to go either east or south down the road.
Well, let me see what I can do. Again, I can't promise you anything. I hope I can help, but if I can't, at least I know I tried.
I appreciate.
I'll be in touch with you. So if you're going to leave, can you leave me your number, or does someone have it? Mr. Gelati, do you have it? I'll give you a call.
Okay. I'll hang around a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda is correspondence.
Yes, we have one email. It's from Deborah Klimkowitz, 8025 Swallow Drive. It's to Chief Ripley. Fire Chief Ripley, hi. I am a local 69-year-old Macedonia resident who received help from Fire and Rescue at 5 a.m. on Friday, October 15th. My knee totally dislocated, and they were able to get me out of the house into Cleveland Clinic Hospital emergency. I had surgery to correct the dislocation on Saturday. They're all wonderful, kind, caring, and efficient. Great team, Chief. Please relay my thanks. Again, thank you for your help. And the people that attended were Lieutenant Joe Natali, firefighter medic Ed Manny, and firefighter EMT Mike Rigo. That's it.
Thank you.
I just want to make a quick announcement that today everyone is wearing their green and white for Nardonia. This week is Unity Week at Nordonia schools, and their theme is See Us All this week. Today, Thursday, is Unity Rally Day, where the students in all the schools were encouraged to wear Nordonia colors, so we decided to join in. And the mayor will talk a little bit more about Unity Week during the mayor's report.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move right into ordinance number 66.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance number 66, 2021 for its first, second, and third reading by title only, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An emergency ordinance ratifying the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Macedonia and the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Local 436, for the years 2020, 2021, and 2022.
So we have a total of 5 unions in the city. This is the last of the 5 to be completed. I'm glad to have this done, and I know that our service workers will be very happy to have this completed as well. So proud to have this on tonight to get it done, to take care of this, and we won't have to talk negotiations again until next year. So that's a good thing. Any other discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I'd ask that we pass and post according to law ordinance number 66, 2021, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 66 carries. Ordinance number 67.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance 67, 2021 for its first reading by title only.
An ordinance providing for the 2022 annual appropriations for the City of Macedonia, Ohio.
Director Veras?
Thank you, Mayor. This is our 2022 annual appropriations. I thank Finance Chair Garvis and the rest of the council for attending the 3 meetings that we had to discuss the appropriations, and we will leave it on first reading, and it'll appear in second reading in November and third reading in December. And it's always a great tool to get this passed before the year begins. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, ordinance number 68.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to add ordinance 68, 2021 to the agenda and to waive the 48-hour rule.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. I'd also like to offer ordinance 68, 2021 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the Summit County Fiscal Office.
Director Veras?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to apologize for the immediacy of this. I have included in my calendar. I was too busy with the 2022 budget and 2 daughters getting married. But I put it in my calendar for September 1st going forward. What this does is it sets the rates for the property tax bill. The rates are exactly the same as last year. 2.2 for the general fund, 0.3 for the police pension fund, and 5.07 for the operating levy for the general fund, which is an effective rate of 1.29. End of my report.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move that we pass and post according to law ordinance 68, 2021.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Ordinance 68 carries. Are there any other motions or legislative actions?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to cancel the city council meeting for November 25th due to it falling on Thanksgiving, and also for December 23rd due to Christmas holiday.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Just so everyone's aware, we still have the first meeting in both of those months. By charter, we must have 1 council meeting.
Thank you. Any other motions or legislative actions? Okay, I'll move right into the mayor's report. Very important day coming up, Election Day, November 2nd. Please get out and vote. A lot of topics on there that involve our community, so your vote is appreciated. Second thing is Nardonia Unity Week. I had to go this week because some of the shirts that I had that said Nardonia on them didn't fit me as well as they used to, and I found this nice one that says alumni on it, which I'm very proud of. I think we have 3 alumnus up here, yeah? So kind of a neat little thing to support our schools, and it's also really awesome that I have a couple kids in the schools, and really enjoy going there and seeing them grow through the schools that I was raised in, so it's really neat to watch that. I also want to recognize the Nordonia girls soccer. They went to the district semifinals, and I believe they're still in it, so congratulations to them. The boys soccer won the playoff opener, but unfortunately fell to Hudson in the next game, so pretty good season to get to the playoffs, but unfortunately lost to Hudson, but great season, guys. And the big one for us right now is our Nardonia football team tomorrow plays a school I've never heard of. Mr. Chaddock, what's the name of that school?
It's Cleveland John Hay.
And what is their motto or their logo?
They're the Hornets.
The Hornets. So the Knights are going to have to stomp the Hornets, correct?
Correct.
So we wish them luck tomorrow. That's going to be a big game. I had the opportunity to check out the Benedictine game last week, and that was an exciting one. They jumped on them in the first quarter, and I thought it was not going to be good, and Nardonia came back and won in a handsome fashion. So congratulations to the Nardonia football team. I had the opportunity today to do a ribbon cutting in a little bit of a different fashion. It was a 20-year anniversary of a company called Innovative Global Vision. They do website and digital marketing. It was neat to meet those folks and see them thriving in our community. The owner is actually Canadian and has a district office in Canada, so it was nice to talk to her and learn a little bit about their business and see how they're doing well in our community. Halloween, October 31st, 6 to 8. It's not changing. If it's raining or anything like that, we have this question pop up every year that there's all kinds of different things going on in our lives, but we are going to keep it consistent, and I know that the rest of the Nardonia communities are doing the same thing as well. It's October 31st from 6 to 8. We will have our fire and police out and patrolling. I ask everyone to drive, please slow down and drive carefully. Our children are going to be walking around. I'm sure they're going to be crossing streets. Watch your speed, go slow, and be cognizant of the children that are out there, please. And with that, please don't drive distracted. Put the phones down and drive your vehicle. This is the end of my report. We will move into committee reports.
Parks and Rec Commission had their October meeting last Tuesday. Lots of good updates about what's been going on in the Parks and Rec departments. We tried to keep it quick, and then we ended up talking about the capital improvement budget and HVAC changes and updates that are sorely needed in the building. We've learned that Recreation will be putting dollars towards that. Got 20-year-old systems that desperately need updated instead of doing something with the family changing room. But I think we'll all benefit from having that building up to speed when it comes to HVAC. That's the kind of boring stuff that we talk about in Parks and Rec Department sometimes, but it was a good meeting. Our final meeting for the year is in November, the third Wednesday, which is the 17th of November, and that'll be at 6 o'clock in the activity room at the rec center. That's all.
The cemetery, if you've driven by, you'll see that they're still painting. All the primers on the fence, but they were out again today painting. The intent is to try and get that done before, I won't say the word, but before bad weather comes in. So they're still working on that. We're not able to use funds from the state for the driveway, so we're still reviewing how are we going to take care of that, because the roadway through the cemetery needs to be improved. This is Macedonia's year. Next year we are off as the representative to the community cemetery. So because there are 4, we have 3 communities on every year, and then so you serve for 3 years, and then 1 year you're off, and then the city comes back. If, however, you have any questions about the cemetery during next year while Macedonia is off, I'm more than willing to take those calls and questions. I know Jeff Schnell is our administrator, very eager to assist could you give either one of us a call? We'll make sure you're handled. Thank you.
Any other committee reports? Hearing none, we'll move into department reports. First is our service department. Director Karras is off sick today, so I will give a synopsis of his report. Leaf collection has begun. We talk about this, and I'm going to be redundant in every meeting we have up until the point where it's complete, but when you put your leaves out, your leaves cannot be in the road. You cannot have anything in your pile of leaves other than leaves. If there's large sticks or branches in there, it does break our machines.
Grass clippings.
Grass clippings are going to happen, but we ask that you leave those separate and put those into your trash because the trash collection will pick those up. But don't put anything in the leaf piles but leaves. And if you put your leaves in the roadway, it will clog, it will cause flooding, which could flood your neighbors. And I know I say this every time, but I want to make sure everyone hears this. The leaves must be in your yard. They cannot be in the roadway. If they are in the roadway this year, the building department will be paying you a visit, and nobody wants to deal with that. And we want to have a harmony to get these guys through the work and keep the equipment up and running as best as we can. They are also buttoning up a few last culverts that they're working on. We were backed up for years on our culverts, and this year, I believe, is the first year that we've ever caught up. So thanks to the service workers for getting that complete and working hard. And I think I'll complete his report for him.
Do you have any idea when the electric company will be finished with putting the new poles on Shepherd? There are poles laying on the side, but do we have an idea what time we will?
Yeah, I wouldn't know, Ms. Tully. Building department may have a schedule from First Energy.
I know they're moving quickly and they have multiple crews. I saw today that they were doing, I believe, 2 or 3 at the same time. So I would guess that they have a lot of work to do and they button it up fairly quickly, but I don't know the exact date.
Yeah, for what it's worth, it looks like they're about halfway down the road already.
The ones by Berkshire and Shepherd, which is right by the school, those are all just lying in the grass. My concern is when are they going to do it? Because depending on the time of day, it could be horrible with the buses and the parents bringing.
Building department reached out to them to make sure they weren't blocking traffic when school was let out. I do know.
Yeah, we do communicate that. That's like the leak at the high school that Cleveland Water has been working on for a long time. And finally today we found out that it was actually a problem with the school that's now existing. So we were very open and honest in talking about, traffic times and making sure that it could flow, and they were understanding of that and did not interrupt that. That's why they were there on Saturday.
They were working on it's either Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday.
They were there.
Yep.
We were surprised.
We had a spirited conversation to make sure that took place on a Saturday.
That was good.
It is Spirit Day, right? So.
Yes, Spirit Day.
There you go. Okay, Director Gelati.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple things. Striping is complete on a number of roads around the city for the season, and our grant funding applications have been submitted to AMAT. So we talked about this a couple of meetings ago for repaving of Valley View Road at the south end of town, for North Bedford Road, that's the zone between 82 and Ledge, and also for our future Highland Valley View intersection improvement project. So we'll hope to find out the results of those applications at the end of this year. End of report.
Thank you. Director Chaddock.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to first highlight the Haunted Yard Contest winner was the Korinsky residents at 8794 Smoke Rise Drive. They were the winners. They have a big banner in their front yard now displaying that. I encourage people to get over there and drive by and take a look at the house. Our Halloween event, the Haunted Manor, was a great day for us. That was on October 16th. We had between 475 and 525 kids through the event. It was a walking event through the manor house and then out to the grass area adjacent to it. We had roughly 1,000 to 1,200 people go through the manor house, which was really impressive. That is more people than the manor house has had through in the last decade. So it's really a great time for them to get out and see it. Lots of questions and a little bit of history lessons through a quick run through the house. We have a project going on right now that we're looking at our recreation software solutions. We currently have Sportsman. We're just evaluating some other solution options that are out there, making sure we have the most optimum system for our usage. We are continuing with maintenance projects throughout the building. And Councilmember Brandt, you'll be happy to know that we have fans installed in the fitness rooms now. We have industrial fans. We are no longer using Walmart fans in the fitness rooms to cool them down. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd
Director.
like to say that the manor house was pretty scary. It was decorated extremely well. The people
Anybody go
outside-
upstairs?
No. Too scary.
There's other things upstairs.
Not allowed.
You don't want to go upstairs, it's scary. And the people who came to hand out the candy, that was very nice. The only concern I have in the future, if we do this again, we have to mark off that the kids are not allowed to run up the gravel mountain. It's up. They were all up there, and every time they come down, I go, no, it's.
Boys will be boys.
We're lucky, and they were going like crazy. We thought it was a lot of fun, but they did a very nice decoration on it.
Yeah, they did. It was really a neat event. Thank you for that feedback.
Director Veras.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to let everybody know the $75,000 grant that the fire department and Sherry Kuzma that they were able to obtain, and we talked about last month or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, the money's already in. So since we have it this year, what I would like to do, and I'll need to do one more amendment to do this, is increase the revenue and increase the appropriations in the fire department so I could create the $75,000 purchase order to track it properly. So I will have one amendment in November with that small change. End of my report.
Thank you. Next up is another alumnus, Chief Ripley.
Thank you, Mayor. Good news, Twinsburg Road is opened. I don't know if Mr. Gigliotti knows when Highland Road is going to open.
Last update on the county engineer's website was November 30th.
Well, construction crew's driving on it, so I think we're pretty close.
Bridge.
Myself, Assistant Chief Solinsky, Lieutenant Aberth, Councilor Brandt, Councilor Garvis, and Director Karas had an opportunity along with, and Director Guidetti and Trustee Zaccardelli from Sagamore Hills went out to a program at the Wayne County Regional Training Facility called Feel the Heat. And you can talk to them about the heat. Well, they spent about 6 hours out there, and they actually put on an air pack, put on gear, spent the day in the gear, and then went into 2 different burns inside the building. Mr. Karas wants to work part-time for us now, but he also is out sick now, so I don't know what that's all about. But it was very, very worthwhile. Mrs. Tully did it, I won't say how long ago. She and I were both there, so, okay. It's a worthwhile program, and I know everyone wanted to go, and there was just some conflicts, so very worthwhile event. I'd like to make sure everyone stays safe during trick or treat. Like the mayor said, please do not run up to our trucks. We do not hand out candy. They're big trucks. They could have to leave at a moment's notice. We're there for your safety. And Jessica, November 7th is daylight savings time. So we have to change the batteries in our smoke detectors.
Absolutely. Good recall on that.
Well, I wrote it out. And to report, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief Golden, I don't know if you're alumni.
Negative.
Okay.
Negative. A few weeks ago, we had a break-in at one of the businesses in the Commons. We used the flock cameras to help catch the suspects, let's say. We had one of them back here, and within 5 minutes, Lieutenant Yakupovich got him to admit to at least 25 to 30 other break-ins throughout Northeast Ohio. So this is one of the reasons why we had the flock and cameras installed. So huge break in the case. And we hoping to get a few more up and running here shortly. So.
Thank you.
The fucking camera.
Thank you. Director Smith.
It's a nice job by Vince. Yes.
Director Smith.
Only one reminder, Mayor, our biometric testing will be taking place November 4th from 7 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. End of report.
And Director Collins is also out sick today. I can tell you the gentleman is very busy, as we all know, so I'm sure he closed many, many reports, or I don't know what he calls tickets. I'm sorry, tickets. I'm sure he closed many tickets, and he's anxious to get back to closing some more. And last but not least, another alumni, Director Guidetti.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. And any unfinished business? Any new business? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
30 seconds.